Hey guys, Distributor Magic here, and I wanted to tell a real quick funny story, and then a really huge announcement actually that's really important to quite a few of you actually. And then actually something else at the end, so this is like the whole damn variety hour. So I'm going to skim through this because the details are like interesting to me, but probably not you. I made my Rivals of Ixalan order like 3 months ago or something, and I cut it down to like $800 because I had zero confidence in this. Remember, this is a short set, a small set, I should say. It's like 194 cards or whatever. And that just means that whoever spends like 3,000 on every set that comes out, they're going to pull more of each individual card because there's less individual cards. Like, there's still 36 boosters in a box. You know, there's still one rare in every booster. There's just less rares to pull from. So if every vendor gets more of each, that's a problem. So the smarter single sellers that do bulk processing and stuff, they tend to just order less, and Wizards, I heard, prints less, which is one of the reasons they're getting rid of it. They're just doing single 254 card sets or whatever they're doing from now on. That's the best improvement to the game of Magic in the history of the product. I mean, just hands down. So anyway, I had no confidence in this, even though A3 Volt sold really well because it was overpowered as balls and to the point where now they had to ban it recently, basically. Well, its primary mechanic. And people were talking about banning red-white vehicles, too, because that was pretty killer. Well, not now, obviously, but like at the time. So anyway, I put in my order, and I emailed my vendor. I'm like, okay, do you have a total? How much did I order? I totally forgot. And they're like, oh, this much. I'm like, that's not much. And this is after I saw the spoilers. This is like 2 days before the order was going to ship. And so I said, hey, is there any way I can get more? No, they're sold out. Rivals of Ixalan was sold out 2 days before it even shipped. So just the pre-orders sold it out. Now remember, every vendor who knows what they're doing orders less of it, or at least the single sellers do. The sealed vendors, maybe they sell the same, I don't know. So people have been lowering their orders lately. I mean, they had to discount a whole bunch of the boxes in standard to like 65 a box just to move them because they were stuck with so much because Magic is losing tons of money. Enquete sold like crap. Ixalan sold like crap. So basically, they were just stuck with thousands and thousands of boxes. But Rivals was sold out immediately, and I don't think it's because everybody ordered more of it. I think it's because Wizards finally caught up with the fact that their customer base is shrinking and their product is failing, and they just short printed the hell out of it. And you know the distributors had something to do with that. I mean, they probably said, we're tired of getting stuck with this much product, stop printing so much. And then they did, and then Rivals sold really well because it's actually pretty powerful, and then obviously the card bans. So anyway, that's what's going on with Rivals. I thought you guys would at least find that interesting. And a lot of people did not get how much they ordered. Like they couldn't get a second wave or whatever. As far as I know, they're still sold out. I don't even know. But a lot of really major vendors on eBay and even like Card Kingdom and stuff, they're sold out of individual singles, like anything popular, which seems to indicate that they didn't get the amount that they wanted and they aren't able to get more. So watch for some very interesting upward trends in the singles prices in Rivals of Ixalan in like the next 2 weeks. Now, other than that, I think Wizards is probably like printing them right now. I mean, there's going to be a wave too. There can't not be. I mean, I'm pretty sure standard is print to demand. Anyway, so that's super interesting. Also, another huge shout out to my boys at ACD Distributors. They just lowered their price significantly. The prices on just about everything. I mean, they said they streamlined their logistics. They did everything they could to save expenses and make everything cheaper. And also, they're just plain making less money on the Magic boxes. Okay, so at my volume, I was paying about $84 a box, actually a little bit above that, which is quite high. I've heard a typical amount is in the 70s, and some people rarely get like it in the 60s. Then when the boxes are in emergency fire sale clearance, apparently they're 65. But other than that, okay, ACD was kind of expensive, but they're one of only 2 distributors that I know of that will sell to a non-WPN location. I haven't confirmed that, but I think it's true. Oh, and the other one is Southern Hobbies, so I'll buy from them when hell freezes over. So basically, I'm stuck with ACD, but that's fine because I like them. It's just, the prices were like high-ish, but whatever, $84, not that bad. I think at volume, it was like 80 to 82 if I ordered enough. But anyway, they just lowered it to 76 flat. Straight up, just $76 a box. And that helps me out a ton because I cannot compete with those absolute asshole, douchebag, lying, manipulative, greedy piles of shit called MVP Sports and More, or Sports and More. I don't even remember their damn name. Those douchebags on eBay who are selling like 30,000 boxes or whatever the hell they're moving. Just don't even get me started on those people. They have pissed off so many vendors and put so many stores out of business. I'm surprised that their fake LGS that they claim to be isn't on fire right now. It baffles me that they don't receive, well, maybe they do, receive death threats every single day. Whoever is pretending to be behind that store. Literally every other seller on planet Earth hates these people. I don't understand why Wizards won't do shit about it. Anyway, to help compete with those douchebags, even though I don't sell sealed boxes, but still, they're driving down the cost of singles by selling people boxes of basically singles for like nothing. Wizards needs to step in and crush these people. I don't know or care how or why they're doing what they do. They need to be stopped, period. Anyway, to help compete with those assholes, they dropped their price at ACD. So go to your local gaming store and be like, hey, whoever you order from, ACD is $76 a box now, flat. Oh, by the way, Pokemon, $78 a box, Yu-Gi-Oh, $51 a box, Force of Will, $75 a box. And if you follow me on Patreon, you already knew about this 2 weeks ago. So that's awesome. That's awesome that they did that, but it's kind of crap that they had to do that. They were like forced to do it. People who order from multiple distributors, it's like, why would they even bother with $84 a box? You know what I mean? So not sponsored or anything, just mega shout out to my homeboys at ACD. I love them. They got amazing customer service. My rep is like legit into like hobby and gaming stuff, and he like plays Magic, and he's totally awesome. He's also probably watching this right now, but I'd say it anyway, even if he wasn't. Well, those have like free 1-day shipping too. So they're pretty much the best distributor now, in my opinion. So like legit, go tell your store to like, maybe apply for an account or at least look into it, because they could probably actually save money over what they're paying now. Oh, it's a funny story with the Rivals order. I called them up and they're like, yeah, I mean, I guess we could send you like some of these instead. I'm like, whatever, if you got them. I just literally need more Rivals cards. Because like I said, they were sold out. So I ended up with like a $1,000 order, which is cool. That's why it's cool to have a rep that you can just call up and they answer the phone. And you're like, hey, fix this problem I got. And they're like, okay. But I got the shipping notification the day before, and it's 1-day shipping. I'm like, cool, tomorrow morning it'll be here. Awesome. And then I got an email from the finance department saying, your credit card was declined. Do you have another one or something? We got to fix this. I'm like, you're damn right we got to fix this. You're being polite about this. You literally just sent me an order that I didn't pay for, kind of. And okay, when somebody's card is declined, let me tell you about the whole song and dance that we usually do, us who work in retail and customer service, because I do. Okay, we do the whole, let's see, what's the order? Oh, let me try it again. Something happened. Oh, it says declined. I don't know why or what, which actually in some cases then you just gave them like 2 overdraft fees. It's not supposed to do that, but anyway. And then you got to be like, oh, this terminal is always acting up. I'm sure it's not your irresponsible broke ass that's at fault. Do you have another card or another method of payment? Or maybe you could just come back later and see if it works. Like, for example, after you pay your bill, you dumbass. Like, I know that they know that I know that they know that I know that they basically maxed out their card and that's why it's getting declined. But there's these psychological games we play to avoid any acknowledgement that they might be at fault, even though they know damn well what I'm thinking. So because of that, I know darn well what they're thinking about me. They're thinking that I'm an irresponsible dumbass who maxed out my credit card. Okay, it's almost impossible to max out that credit card. The limit on that thing is ridiculously high. So I'm thinking, oh my God, there's 2 things she's probably thinking right now. 1, this idiot, and 2, oh my God, we just sent him an order that he didn't pay for. And so I'm like, oh crap. So I real quick try to log in online to see what's up, if there's some kind of message, I don't know, whatever. Can't log in. And it says like temporary technical difficulties, try again later. And then I thought, I tried to log in last week and it said the same thing. Well, it turns out on December 19th, I tried to use that card to buy $500 worth of Bitcoins on Coinbase, which also link in the description, referral link, yay. Coinbase is the best. Unless you try to use a credit card there, or I should say Visa. Hey, you're the A+ student if you figure out where I'm going with this one already. You already know it. You already know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I tried to make a $500 purchase. It was declined. I'm like, okay, I heard everybody's getting their credit cards declined at Coinbase because it's like a high fraud thing. And it's like you could just run away with like untraceable Bitcoins. And it's like a money laundering thing. It's just, it's a high suspicion level. So if I tried to buy a very large amount, which I did, then it got flagged by the fraud department, basically. And also it's like they're using an American gateway, but they're a British company. It's like this whole layers and layers and layers of other fraud reports and suspicion and just, their heuristics, as they call it, flagged it. And so the lady on the phone, after I was on hold for like 20 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, it's like 5 o'clock. I got to get this email back saying what's wrong with my card, or I got to go get another card to run this on. So that wait time was awesome. The music was terrible, it was distorted. I'm just like, these people are such unprofessional idiots, for real. By the way, you don't like call Visa, you call like your person who like handles the card. I don't want to get too specific because it'll probably say where I live basically. But let's just say they're a lot smaller than Visa and they're idiots. So I call up, I'm like, what's going on? She's like, there was one on December 19th, $500 Coinbase. It was blocked because we thought it was suspicious. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Cool. But why'd you block the one from ACD? I buy from them all the time. It's almost the only thing I use this credit card for. And that was actually a really small order. I've bought, $8,000, $9,000 before. And they're like, oh, because your entire card was suspended. I'm like, okay, my entire card was suspended because why? And she's like, oh, because we thought like somebody stole it and was trying to use it fraudulently. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get anything in the mail from you. I didn't get an email and you didn't call me. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, moving past that because I need to get this resolved as soon as humanly possible. Can you unlock the card? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, there was a second one from ACD. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one I need to go through. She's like, okay, click, tap, 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 tap. Doesn't put me on hold, just like dead air for like 3 minutes. And she's like, okay, I got it fixed. I was like, good. I don't want to listen to your damn music anyway. But, I'm like, okay, so do I have to wait 24 hours? Should I tell them to wait to run it or can they run it like right now? And she's like, oh, right now, immediately. Don't worry. It won't get caught again. I'm like, I'm warning and it probably will get caught again. And so they do the usual, oh, is there anything else I can help you with today? Like with the sarcastic, like they just want to get off the phone. And I was like, no, that should do it. Thanks. You handle the situation. She's like, okay, thanks I'm like, wait a minute. I swear to God, she didn't say anything. But she was like mentally projecting telepathic to me. Oh my God, I swear to God, this better get off the phone. And I was like, what would happen if I tried to make another purchase at Coinbase? Because I'm like, I know you said ACD is clear, but what about them? And she's like, oh, it'll probably get caught again. I'm like, well, is it because it's Bitcoin related? And she's like, no, it's, because they're British and it was like a high dollar amount and they're like out of state and it just got caught on the suspicion meter. I'm like, yeah, but I'm telling you right now that I purposely, like it was me and that they should be an approved vendor. And she's like, oh, we don't really do that. And then I'm thinking back to the last time I called them, which I called them a week before I made my first order with ACD saying, okay, this is going to be out of state. It's going to be thousands of dollars. Make sure it goes through. And they're like, oh, you got to call us back 24 to 48 hours exactly in that exact window to authorize it so that our fraud department will have that in their notes. I'm like, you can't put it in now. She's like, no, all these notes expire after 48 hours. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So I got to call you like literally exactly within 1 to 2 days, like in that period to authorize it. And they were like, yep. And I'm like, okay, I'll call you back in like 4 days or whatever. Thanks for nothing. So anyway, I said, okay, can I pre-authorize it ahead of time? And she's like, that might not work either. I'm like, I swear to God, if I just want to use my damn credit card on Coinbase at some point, which the first time, by the way, I wanted to buy Bitcoin Cash because it had just been added and it was about to go up, and it did, and they just cost me a ton of money by making that one get canceled. I would have made about $600 profit, so I'm not thrilled with that one. But my other two friends, they got their cards declined too because it's Coinbase, whatever. Pre-authorize your purchases, by the way, if you're going to use them. Oh, and referral link to sign up for Coinbase for $10 free in the description. Check that out. But anyway, I was like, okay, so like literally is there a way to do this? And she's like, well, you'll have to have it fail again and then immediately call up and say, oh, this just failed. I need 1, my card not to be locked without telling me, and 2, for this to go through and then to immediately try running it again. But do that like every time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And I'm thinking, what I'm going to do is use a different brand of credit card is what I'm going to do because you people are morons. Speaking of that, you might have seen in my video descriptions a referral link to sign up for a Discover credit card. I've been using them for about 6 or 7 years, and I've been promoting them as a sponsor for a couple months. Yeah, I completely switched to Discover. I do not really use my Visas anymore. In fact, one of them has zero balance, and the other one I only use at ACD. Oh, and Coinbase, apparently. Except apparently not. So, okay, check this out. No annual fee whatsoever. No hidden fees. Nothing. There are no fees just to have the card, unlike American Express. Last I checked, theirs is $175 per year. Yeah, they charge it all at once. I'm not kidding. Some other cards do that. I mean, read the agreement. But, or don't read the agreement because don't get an Amex card. At my shop, I just pretend we don't take American Express, and I tell people we don't, even though we do, because I'm sick of paying their ridiculous fees. Discover's a little friendlier, though. But anyway, I called them up for something once, and I think it was to pre-authorize a huge, gigantic purchase of pretty much Bitcoin mining hardware. And I was like, I got to buy from an unusual vendor that I don't usually buy from. Could you guys authorize that? Yeah, cool. We'll add it to your notes, like permanently, I think. Either that or they said it's good for like a year or something with their fraud department. At that point, you would have already made the purchase a bunch of times. Also, I had to call them when I was traveling, like, to California, too. I called them up and I was like, oh, I'm going to be in California, FYI. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll put a note. So if we see charges in California, they'll just go through. Oh, and 0 wait time, too. I got on the phone with the person immediately. I mean, they're just better. And get this, it's straight to Discover, the company. You can't really call Visa. You call your intermediary, which in my case sucks. So check this out. You get 5% cash back at, this quarter. It changes every quarter, actually. It's gas stations and wholesale clubs like Sam's Club and Costco, which is pretty sweet. One time it was online purchases, so I just made it my business card for 3 months, and I ran like 30 grand on it for my store inventory, and I got like $1,100 cash back. I actually hit some kind of like individual vendor limit and didn't quite get the amount I was supposed to, but still $1,100 in free money just straight to my account. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. So amazing customer support, amazing features, just a better experience overall, no fees, and you get free, like your not your full credit report, but your credit score, just the score, like your FICO score. And mine went down 70 points lately due to something that I didn't know drove your credit down, basically. Two things, actually. So I was able to correct that, which is good because I'm trying to get a very large loan, and that would have affected it. So I'm glad they do that every single month for free, no charge whatsoever. I mean, it's freaking amazing. And, my personal information was just leaked from, who the hell was that? Equifax or whatever, Experian or one of those douchebags. Well, guess what? As long as you have a Discover card completely free of charge, you do have to opt into it, but it's completely free of charge. Whether you make a purchase or not, you could not use the card for 12 months. You still get free fraud monitoring and identity theft monitoring. Completely free. It's not quite on par with like LifeLock, where they'll stop somebody from getting like a boat loan in your name. But if somebody tries to impersonate you or sells your personal information online, or your social shows up in a hacked database that's leaked online, or that's purchased by the FBI or whatever, they will notify you immediately. So that's really nice because I don't have money for like all this monitoring crap. Oh, and if you sign up at the link down below, not only will I make a bunch of money, but you'll make a bunch of money. Make like a little $1 purchase somewhere, and you get $50 credited directly to the card. So if you're not a huge credit card person, you just use debit because then it's all instant and you can track it, and you don't like, balances floating over your head. You could just leave it in your car and use it either just for gas, because then it's a predictable amount, or if you're at the gas station, already pumped the gas and forgot your wallet, which is actually where my Visa card is now, because screw that thing. Yeah, it's actually hidden under the seat. It's actually a clever little thing you can do. But you could literally just like buy a pack of gum with it, and then you get free $50, and then just go get like free gas for like 2 months. Well, if your gas is really cheap and you drive as little as I do, that'll be 2 months. And it'll also make me a buttload of money. So I have a vested interest in it. Imagine that. But also, like I said, I've been using Discover for years. I stopped using my crappy Visa card. I've had nothing but problems with my 3 Visa cards, actually, by the way. I've never had one single complaint or problem with Discover. And if I had any kind of question or I had to pre-authorize something, boom, I call them up and it's done in 5 minutes. Even their on-hold music is better if they got to put you on hold. Oh, also, want to hear another fun story? My brother tried to get a home loan, or was looking into it, and he had never had a utility bill, rent, cell phone, credit card, car loan, nothing. He never had anything related to credit in his name because, I don't know, we all just like pay cash for stuff or whatever. So he was looking at, instead of getting an apartment, getting a home loan, and they're like, hell no, your credit score is is whatever it is, like 600, 650, whatever it is by default. Depends on the place. But he had no credit history whatsoever. So as far as they know, you're the most untrustworthy person ever. So they said, no way in hell you're getting a home loan. I mean, you need like 740 or something to qualify for like an ideal mortgage rate. I think you need 670 in the US to like get a loan, like at all. Well, now mine's like 800, but same thing. When I moved out, I actually tried to just get a real basic like financing, and they didn't want to give it to me at all. It was like just one single low limit business credit card, and I got declined for it. I'm like, oh crap, I go to my bank, the one issuing it, and I'm like, what do I do? And they forced it through. They called the underwriter and said, he's been here for like 20 years and never had an overdraft. Like, there's his credit score. They're just like, force this through. We know he's a good person. Also, he has a bunch of money in his savings. Yeah, mortgages, car loans, and business cards, they don't give to just anybody. Also, when I was 18, I tried to sign up for something online that involved finances, like an investment thing, and they could not verify my identity because they used one of the credit reporting places to verify my identity, and they had no credit history for me whatsoever. Whoopsies, so I wasn't able to open that investment account at all because they couldn't verify me. Long story short, you need a credit history and you need it as early as you can. So if you're like 16 to 18 or even 20 and you don't have a credit history of any kind really, or it's not terribly robust with like 4 different sources, you get the Discover card. You do not want to end up in my situation. It took years to get my credit score high enough to do anything. And yeah, you can cheat it with retroactive stuff and submit stuff with a credit counselor. That's all a mess and it's expensive. Just don't dick around with that. Just get a credit card as early as you can and just use it once in a while. Real simple. So anyway, enough infomercial stuff, but I just thought this would be funny because, well, you got to laugh about it afterwards. I wasn't laughing at the time where they're like, oh my God, they think I just stole thousands of dollars in cards. Whoops. I mean, literally, I was like, the next day it would be like UPS, oh, look, the police are behind them. Wonderful. Like, that's like a real scam. I'm not going to go into details, but that's like a thing that you can do, sort of. Not you, literally. I mean, you in the soft sense. It's a scam that people do where it's like they manipulate it and then like it's on file, but then they ship it before they can bill it and then you run off with it and it's like a whole thing. Yeah, I kind of was worried they'd think I was doing that. So afterwards I thought it was kind of funny, but during it, I mean, I'm sure they still think that that I overdrafted the card or whatever. But I didn't, and it was 100% Visa's fault because you know what? If somebody, if they thought somebody stole my card, maybe give me a call. Maybe let me know about it. That's kind of important. Don't just let it fail the next time I try to use it. So screw you, Visa, and everybody get a Discover card. I'll see you guys next video.